you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill.
We'll wait for the connection to get a little better here. I don't know why all of a sudden decided to dip on me as soon as I pressed the live button. But here we go! Welcome everybody to another installment of In My Opinion with me, Pro/Dave of the Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am going to have here hopefully in a couple of minutes, Tony Twist from All Things Wrestling Podcast. We've been wanting to do this. This is the final stream until I get back from vacation. But how's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing well. So yeah, like I said, I'm just waiting for Tony to come on. We're going to be talking about, well, you guessed it, wrestling and everything surrounding it. I have a couple of questions for him that I'm going to ask, and I can't wait to get his take on it. If you guys haven't checked out his show already, I put the link in the description to his link tree. You guys should go subscribe to him, definitely. He has awesome guests that come on normally, and they just come on like every Sunday and shoot the shit about wrestling. He just had his year anniversary of the podcast last Sunday, which I had the pleasure of being a part of, me, Toe, and him. And it was fun. It was fun as fuck, actually. I sound like fucking Sir Wilkins when I take a sip of some coffee. So, Hangman Adam Page. I'm gonna keep you tabbed up while I run out and finish errands. Good luck on the podcast. Thank you, Bakeface, for coming on in the comments. Wow, that's awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you. But yeah, it's gonna be a good show. I just seen that Tony saw my message, so we'll be waiting. If I'm lucky, maybe I can catch you still live. Yeah, we'll be on for a little bit. I'm thinking maybe an hour or so. So, you go finish your errands and we'll still be here. I don't know why I pointed like that, but it is what it is. Cheers. So yeah, guys, I'm excited to. My brother's getting married. Little bro is getting married, so he thinks he's grown up now, and I don't know. I'm happy for him. Really happy for him. I gotta get ready for that on Friday. It's Friday he's getting married, and he's accomplished a lot, so I'm happy for him. So what are we going to talk about today? I have a few questions. Did you guys see what happened to Hangman Adam Page. That was brutal. Dude ended up getting just a concussion, thank God. And I don't know. Like with those type of moves, it's like maybe Moxley was too rough, or maybe it was just all Hangman's fault, because I don't think when they do the clothesline, they typically connect with the person. It's just like it's just a forearm they stick out, and the person that does the backflip typically just does it on his own merit. So I think maybe he did a backflip, or they timed it wrong, and he just landed right on his fucking neck, which wasn't supposed to happen. And another thing, man, that we got to talk about is this Athena and Jody threat. I have no idea what is going on with that. No idea. I am so lost. What are people like angry about? Are they angry at Athena? Are they angry at Jody? Was somebody saying racist? Like, I've been seeing so much shit about it that I'm just as lost as everyone else. I posted something on Twitter. Not that I get a lot of traction on Twitter, but I posted something on Twitter about, I'm a wrestling fan, and every little thing that happens that I don't agree with, I have to over-evaluate and overanalyze everything and twist it to fit this narrative about, how people don't get like, I don't understand. AEW was yesterday, Johnny. You were watching NXT yesterday. But yeah, it's like, I have no idea what's going on. I don't bother to do the research because I know all I'm going to see is some, like, delusional fucking shit that doesn't make any sense. Like, from what I saw, it just looked like a fucking match. That's all it looked like. It looked like a match that got stiff, which happens all the time with Bryan Danielson, and a few other people, fucking Suzuki. And other people are saying that, like, you have to be an established stiff worker to work stiff. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think you can be stiff whenever you feel like it in a match. And I don't know. It just seems it's just odd to me. Everything about it is just fucking weird. I haven't seen much else. I saw that MJF took back what he said about hoping that Hangman was okay after his mishap. He also said Skyline Chili isn't mid, which, how are you going to knock something before you even try it a year later? I'll never know. It's not mid. It's good, man. If you guys never had Skyline Chili, I suggest you go to Cincinnati or the Cincinnati area, get yourself a 3-way or a Coney dog from Skyline. It is spaghetti with chili sprinkled with cheese, and you get like a side of oyster crackers. It's good shit. Oh, you get a Coney dog too, which is just it's a hot dog with chili, cheese, and there you go. They call the spaghetti thing a 3-way. Don't ask why, but God, is it good. But oh yeah, good thing you recorded it. How you doing, Johnny? How you doing today? How's everyone doing? Bakeface? I'm so happy. It's kind of cool that Bakeface came in. Was not expecting that. There's some names on here that I just go, oh wow, they showed up to my shitty stream. Thank you. As you know, you saw from the beginning, my fucking intro didn't want to play. So you just see me with a stupid look on my face like, Like, come on. And then I don't know what happens. As soon as I hit live, that's when every email and message wants to pop up on my screen and slow down my laptop even more. I don't know if you guys know this. I mentioned this millions of times on other streams. But I stream off of fucking, I don't even want to say potato because that's been memed to death. But I stream off of like a fucking 1800 camera. It's so slow. Like, I swear to God, this laptop was built when broadband was invented. And I'm exaggerating. This laptop's from 2017, but you get what I'm saying. It's fucking outdated. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. You know, we're just here to. Anything interesting happen on your side of the wrestling community there, Johnny? What's going on, La Flaca? Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Oh, man. I put ranch on my spaghetti. Gross. No, I'm just kidding. To each their own. What is that? Actually, I don't know. I take that back. Why do you put ranch on spaghetti? Those two things seem like they shouldn't go together. You know what that is? That's like having ketchup with mac and cheese. I don't get that combination. What else is a nasty combo? Fucking corn with... Oh, no. Nasty combo. Grilling watermelon. Don't... Ugh. Why? I mean, the taste is already there. You don't need to slap it on the grill. And I've seen people put it on grills and just fucking, salt and pepper it. It's already... Why are you making it salty? It's sweet. It's a sweet little delectable fucking treat. You don't need to do that. Imagine that. Imagine like a fucking watermelon hamburger. Hey, Johnny. Made some watermelon. Got it cooking right on the grill. You want cheese with that? I don't know. But since I was a kid, I always put ranch on spaghetti. That's fair. And if you got a taste for it, I mean, who am I to knock it? I've never tried it, so maybe it's one of those hidden gems that everybody has. What up, normal guy? What up, man? I'm having steak for dinner, and I'm putting ketchup on it. Ketchup? You like A1 sauce, Johnny? I used to like it. But I guess I haven't been around it enough to actually put it... I don't buy steak like that. I'm not a steak guy. I feel like... yeah, watermelon hamburger. That's gross. I think people do that. Especially, what do you call them? Vegans. Not that there's anything wrong with being a vegan, even though, you're missing out on some good, juicy hamburgers. And you had pizza for dinner. That must be a New Yorker thing. Swear to God, everybody has pizza. Fucking every time I talk to Hazel, he's got a pizza. I'll tell you why pizza's so good, though. It's easy to make. It's cheap. And you can't make it wrong unless, you're just that, inept where everything you make either burns or is undercooked. I've never had a doughy pizza. Being vegan is not healthy. Too much processed food. Listen, I know that. But I don't know if vegans know that. There's nothing, I think, really likes pizza because that's the only thing I see him eating. Yeah, that's the only thing I see Hazel eating too. I swear. That's the only thing I ever see him eat is fucking pizza. That sometimes I think he says he gets it from the gas station. which more power to them. We got a pizza place not too far from where I live called Casey's. I don't know if you guys have a Casey's. It's more like a Midwest thing, I guess. But it's really fucking. I don't know. People praise it. But I don't like it. They have this thing called breakfast pizza where they put fucking eggs in it. All right, well, let's get rid of you. And while I'm getting rid of you, I'm going to introduce the guest of fucking honor. Welcome. He's been on the show before, by the way. It's been a long time. But he's coming back for number 2 of In My Opinion. Welcome, Tony Twist from All Things Wrestling. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing, man. We were just talking about food and what each state has their own type of different types. Johnny over here was talking about how he puts ranch on his spaghetti, which I thought was
what?
Yeah.
When I popped in, I saw it says something about hot dating chat girls. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I got rid of that real quick. That's
I was just like, what show did I just pop? I thought I was on the wrong show for a second. Yeah, I was like, what's going on there? La Flaca, hello, Tony. Hey, how you doing? And Johnny Autism. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. I guess everybody's saying what up to me, so I guess maybe I should just stop addressing them. But hey, everybody, how about that? I'm throwing off a little bit today, but I can rein it in. Here we go. So weird things out of Arizona. Indian fry bread, what to me as a kid was weird.
Indian fry bread? I've never even heard of that.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. A cheese crisp. A cheese crisp is basically kind of like a Mexican pizza, which is like a quesadilla, but everything on top of the tortilla. That's weird, right?
Ooh, no, that sounds good.
I mean, it is good. I'm not saying it's not good. It's just kind of the presentation is a little odd. So quesadillas are great. Everything's inside. But a cheese crisp is almost put on a pizza size, right? But it's a tortilla, giant tortilla with cheese on it, toppings, meat, veggies, whatever you want. But it's like a quesadilla, but everything's on top of it.
I'm not gonna lie, Tony. That sounds really it's weird, but yeah, really, it sounds really good.
And I don't know if that's an Arizona thing. It might be an Arizona thing. I'm originally from Detroit, and they have something called botanas in Detroit, which is at Mexican restaurants, but you can't find that outside of Detroit. And I couldn't even tell you what a botana is because I forgot. But I know you can't get it anywhere outside of Detroit. But maybe you can. I don't know. Maybe in Chicago you can get botanas.
Guys, and this is a question for everyone, really. Have you guys ever had, so me and Tony know we've had this. I know he's had it. If he hasn't had it, then he's got to take away his Detroit card.
Oh,
Jets Pizza.
Yes, Jets Pizza.
Detroit style pizza. If you guys
Jets is not the original Detroit style pizza. They are really good, but if you're in Detroit, you got to go to Buddy's or Jets, or a lot of people don't know this, but Domino's and Little Caesars are Detroit pizzas.
That's true. The guy that owns the Red Wings and pretty much all the sports teams, he owns Little Caesars.
Well, yeah, he owns the Wings and he owns the Tigers.
Right.
But what's funny is the Illich family, who owns the Red Wings and the Tigers. So before they bought the Tigers in the 80s, the Tigers were owned by the owner of Domino's Pizza, who was Dave Monahan. So some useless knowledge for you there.
There you go. What you drinking, man?
LaCroix.
Oh, LaCroix.
Lime LaCroix. Yeah. I don't drink anymore, so I stopped drinking.
Really?
You're not going to catch me drinking booze anywhere.
That's good. Good for you, man. Is that for for a personal reason, or are you trying to reach a goal?
Health reasons, personal reasons, just lifestyle change.
I commend that, dude. I commend that.
Thank you.
I have not been. Yep. 100%. This is water too. It's not beer. So,
Is that what that is? That liquid death or something?
yeah, it's mountain water.
It's not like an energy drink, right?
No.
It looks like a can, like an energy drink kind of can.
It's shaped like a can, and I've read some stories about people getting in trouble keeping these in their car because it looks exactly like a fucking tall boy of
Right.
beer. So, yeah, just be careful if you guys buy these and you're driving around. Johnny was saying, I'm glad Taco Bell has Mexican pizza back. What's up, Young Wolf? What's going on, Young Wolf? Domino's is disgusting. I can't eat there. I will stop watching wrestling before I eat Domino's, and I doubt that'll ever happen. Damn. Domino's delivery driver do you dirty?
I guess so. And then this guy's saying, "Isn't Chicago pizza just lasagna?" No. Have
No.
you must not have ever eaten Chicago pizza, my friend. Not lasagna. Not anything close or like lasagna.
No. The only similarity is that there's cheese. Let me see. That's it.
So what are we talking about, man?
Man,
what's the show today? What's going on?
I'm happy you came on. I had a question that I wanted to give to you last week that I didn't get a chance to do because our schedules didn't align and stuff like that. So this question I've had brewing up, and I wanted to get your opinion on it. And I know you don't really, what's the word? It's not that you don't like it. It's just that you don't enjoy watching AEW. But from the little bit that you've seen, can you tell me, out of everybody who's signed, not including day oneers, ex-WWE, who has actually thrived since signing with AEW?
So you're saying not homegrown talent?
So, like, Moxley's technically ex-WWE, right?
Right.
I'm not talking about
Right.
those guys. Not those day one guys. Just
Oh,
the guys
okay.
that have been recently signed.
Oh, recently signed.
Yeah. Whose career do you think has excelled since joining?
That's a tough one. But I would say Moxley hands down because he is an ex-WWE guy, but he's already been in AEW for what? 2
That's what I mean.
years? Yeah. I mean, Moxley, I don't think in WWE, to me, he wasn't a championship kind of guy. I don't think he wasn't there yet. I don't think he was there. Out of the 3 Shield members, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, those guys have been top guys for a while now. I don't think Moxley hit that in WWE, but he's definitely hit that in AEW. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but like recent signings,
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been thoroughly impressed with too many of the ex-WWE people because they bring them in and then they don't really do anything with them. Well, I think it may be more the women's division because like Athena, who used to be Ember Moon, Ruby Soho, she came in on fire and then totally, I don't know what. I guess you can call it, they got Tony Khan,
See,
I'm coining that phrase. You heard it here first.
Tony Khan.
Tony Khan, duh. There you go.
Yeah, man, I see that, and I hear that talking point a lot. How they come in and they don't do anything with them, but then there's some of them that they legitimately try to do, and one of them I'll say, I think that's since he started showing up from the first, I want to say like the first, what's it called? Grand Slam. All right. I think Bryan Danielson has excelled in AEW since joining.
Excelled like more than he did in WWE. I mean, the guy last event he headlined WrestleMania, and then he was gone.
I think he's more. How do I put this? He's been more used, He's always out almost every week. He's had a lot of great matches since joining. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and deny that match with him and Kenny was really good.
Well, if you've been a fan of our show, and from day one, you'll know I'm a huge Daniel Bryan fan. And in my opinion, just as the show is called, in my opinion, I think he's the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah.
But as far as like becoming bigger or better than he was in WWE, if we're going to go that, I'm going to say it's going to be Moxley all the way because, I mean, Moxley's already won the belt 3 times over in AEW. Unfortunately, they haven't given, Bryan Danielson a title run, which personally I think the belt should be on him and not Moxley. I would rather see a Bryan Danielson MJF match for the title and, Danielson to put over MJF. I think Danielson putting over MJF does way more for MJF than Moxley putting over MJF because that's what's going to happen.
And me and you have talked about this since the first day I came on your show about Bryan Danielson, and I still think that I think, like you said, I mean, he was headlining WrestleMania. He's a great wrestler, man. Great wrestler. Right. And with that being said, I think he's bigger than the AEW belt. I think just his name alone brings more. Testing out the lighting.
Yeah.
I think his name alone brings more value than anybody who's champion at the moment.
Well, here's the thing. They always say, oh, the belt makes the guy or the guy makes the belt or whatever. To be honest with you, the AEW World Championship belt doesn't really carry that much weight, I don't think. They haven't made it like, okay, if you're in wrestling and pro wrestling period, just like Matt Cardona had a conversation with somebody recently. He said, he's real busy. He would love to come back to WWE, right? There's rumors of his wife popping up in WWE or maybe both. I have a feeling you're going to see Matt Cardona pop up at the Royal Rumble. I'm predicting it now. He's going to be back in WWE. He's coming back. This guy's not a clown like he was before. He's went out and made a legitimate name for himself. But he said something that I think rings true for a lot of people. He thinks about the WWE Championship every day, right? He's not saying, I'm thinking about AEW Championship. Like, he doesn't give 2 shits about AEW. He's like, I think about the WWE Championship every day. When you think of AEW and you think of like a champion, to me, nobody really comes to mind. Like, I'm like, when you think of AEW, who's that person you think of automatically, right? It's like, when you think of WCW back in the day, when you think of champion, who do you think of? Ric Flair's the first person that pops up. Sting might be second, In AEW, I don't think they've built up that championship. Like, the championship doesn't carry as much weight as it should. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I think they're still a very young organization.
Yep.
I think if you put that belt on Bryan Danielson, now you've legitimized that belt. Does that make sense? I don't know. Like I'm saying, that's just my opinion. I think Moxley having the belt 3 times already is kind of, I think it's a little silly.
Well,
Kenny Omega was an amazing champion. The only problem is Kenny Omega is not a household name, right? If you're just talking to casual wrestling fans, I would say most of the time they're not going to know who Kenny Omega is. Guess who everybody knows who they are? Roman Reigns, right? Fucking name a handful of people from WWE. They're household names. AEW needs to put that belt on somebody like Bryan Danielson, who could make people excited about AEW, right? Because he's got a huge following. I think if you put that belt on him instead of Moxley, I think you would definitely see the difference. I don't know. Like I said,
you brought up some fucking good points. I will counterpoint that by saying that if it wasn't such a fucking blunder, I would say they tried doing that with CM Punk. CM Punk is a household name. People were chanting
Absolutely.
People were chanting his name at shows.
Yeah, if they didn't have that whole fucking... If he didn't get hurt months ago with his foot, when he fucked his foot up, he dove into the crowd. Why he ever did that was beyond me. The first time I saw him do it, and I was like, oh, they're going to have him stop doing that real quick. And they didn't. I was like, that's a really good way to get hurt. And guess what? You got fucking hurt. So, yeah, no, if CM Punk, going back a while ago when they were going to put the belt on him, yeah, I think CM Punk would have legitimized AEW. But not to the point where Bryan Danielson would have, because the reason why, CM Punk's been gone for a long time. Like I said, Bryan Danielson coming off of headlining WrestleMania and of last year and then showing up in AEW in the summertime, when he went up against Kenny Omega and they had that 30-minute draw, he really should have been the guy facing him for the belt. Instead, they let fucking Hangman Page beat Kenny Omega. So, to me, that's where AEW really fucked up. I think. I mean, Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson should have had that pay-per-view match, and they should have put the belt on Danielson.
I heard somebody say that point, and I kind of agree with them. And you know me, man. I'm fucking AEW shill sometimes, but somebody said it. It was some big podcast. They were like, if they were more focused on writing a good story with the belt, like a new story, instead of building off stories that only like a handful of people know, because nobody really knows the history between Kenny and Hangman outside of AEW.
Yeah.
So that probably, him winning probably meant something to a few people, but for the general public, no idea. Luckily, I knew, but it was like nobody else knew, so it didn't have that big impact. 100% I agree with you. If Bryan Danielson would have faced him for the belt the following match, because the next match was also really good, then you're right. It would have made the belt more meaningful, because that win is fucking huge. You beat Kenny Omega, and I mean, to that though, like, how do you legitimize it? Like,
because by putting the belt on him, I mean, it would have been the biggest guy outside of AEW to come in. And this guy, he's headlined WrestleManias. He's won titles, WWE and every other, ROH, all these other places. To me, I think he legitimizes the belt because he's more of a household name. Like I said, Kenny Omega is amazing and could arguably be the best wrestler in the world, but he's not a name. You know what I mean? He's not a mainstream name. Let me rephrase that. He is a name. He's just not a mainstream name. And I think by him losing to Bryan Danielson, because it would have been perfect. Like, they went to a draw in that 30-minute match, right? They could have easily went right into the pay-per-view and had another fucking killer match. And, Bryan Danielson beats him for the belt. Yeah. I think we'd be looking at a lot different for AEW. Because that would have ended 2021 going to 2022 is, Bryan Danielson is the champ. That could have led up to a lot of good stories, with him with MJF, or even him and CM Punk. There's a history there with Bryan and CM Punk. So I don't know. Hold on, I'm tripping about somebody. that I'm wrong and Daniel Bryan's not the best. It's Bray Wyatt. And then somebody's like, wait, what?
Yeah. What's going on? What's going on? Greg says, hold on. What wrestling in what world? Oh, he said, in what world is Bray Wyatt the best wrestler? Bray is fun to watch, but he is far from the best wrestler in the world. Yeah. Yeah.
And his actual in-ring performance is decent. I wouldn't say it's great. It's decent. He's definitely got some work. His characters, on the other hand, you know, they really dropped the ball with the way they kind of wrote Bray off originally, and then he ended up getting released. I mean, I'm curious to see where they're going to go with this whole Bray Wyatt thing.
Yeah, decent is a good word to describe it. Yeah, it is, man. Decent. I mean,
tell me about a memorable Bray Wyatt match where you're like, oh my god, there were so many spots in that match.
I'll tell you one that's memorable, but not for a good reason. And that was the match he had with Randy Orton. Do you remember when he had like worms and shit projecting off of the ring? Yeah. That shit sucked. That
whole Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, Alexa Bliss story was garbage. It was horrible.
Before that, I'm talking, what was it, like WrestleMania 35 or some shit?
I don't even remember. That's how bad.
Every time he went to go, Greg knows what I'm talking. Every time he went to go do a finisher, there would be a projection screen on the ring, and it would show like bugs crawling. It looks so fucking phony, man. It looks so.
I don't even remember this.
I'll have to show you a clip one day, but it was really bad, and it was memorable for all the wrong reasons. But getting back to what we were talking about, what you said earlier about CM Punk getting hurt, that right there is why we look at the belt the way that we do, because there's so much moments where they had to pivot in storytelling because of injuries, because of somebody getting suspended for some stupid reason, and so they've had to pivot. The one thing I don't like is the interim championship being treated as like the fucking real championship. I don't know why they do that, but
I don't know. They don't do that in WWE. I don't like that interim bullshit.
Yeah, me neither.
You're either the champ or you're not. And if you're walking around with the fake belt, I mean, fuck. I don't know. Like I don't understand why they do the interim thing.
You waste money making a fucking replica of a belt. So like, what is that? So yeah, like we're going back to the value of the belt. How do you value something if Eddie can just get handed to it if somebody gets hurt? You don't earn anything.
No. Mm-mm.
You're just
I'm not sure. Like, it makes sense in the MMA world why they do that. These guys are legitimately fighting each other.
Yeah, like
if somebody gets hurt and they can't defend their belt, they don't necessarily strip them of their title in the MMA world or even in the boxing world, I don't believe. But in wrestling, I don't know. I don't know why AEW decided to do this interim bullshit, because WWE doesn't do that.
I think it's their way of like making sure that there's always a champion on TV.
I guess.
But I don't know. Did you, just to change the subject here, so we were talking about interim champions. One person that comes to mind is Toni Storm, which makes me think women's wrestling, which makes me think of something that happened during Dark. I don't know if you heard about that with, I mentioned it at the top of the show. Did you see that Jody Threat and fucking Athena match?
No, I did not.
There's a bunch of discourse going around about Athena being like way too stiff in the ring. And I haven't seen the clips. I wish I could pull it up right now. But,
well, you know who's stiff as shit is fucking Jade Cargill.
Yeah, give me your opinion on her.
Well, she's gonna hurt somebody for sure, and not in a good way. Um, I don't know. I don't understand what they're trying to do with this woman. I don't like when they build somebody up to be unbeatable. It's been done once. They did it with Goldberg.
It's been done twice.
Who's the other time?
Asuka in NXT.
I don't see. I don't even remember that. But I was never, admittedly, I'm not. I was never a big NXT watcher. So, but I don't like when they make somebody unbeatable, because then when you get to the point, it's like, okay, who's gonna beat them, and how is it gonna look, right? So what they've done with Roman Reigns and this whole bloodline bullshit, like, this needs to end soon. It really does, because it's like, when you put somebody up against them, you're like, well, they're not going to beat them.
Wait,
right?
Are you a naysayer for the bloodline?
I'm not cool with Roman being the champ still. I like the bloodline. I like what they're doing. I like that they're switching it up. I like that it looks like maybe Sami Zayn is going to be the downfall of the bloodline, because I think that's what's going to happen.
Same. No, dude, you have no idea how refreshing that is to hear.
Why?
Because I've never been a Roman guy ever.
Yeah.
Before he got the fucking new teeth, and after he got the new teeth, never been a Roman guy. But everything that I see and hear, it's always, we the ones.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'm sick of it. Because now, like you said, he's beaten everybody. They literally have nobody on that roster that I can think of right now that could go up against him, and I could be like, yeah, I could see him winning. There's nobody.
Because you bring back Braun Strowman. He's not being thrown in any title mix. Really, nor should he be.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I'm not saying that Braun Strowman deserves it. I kind of like what they were doing with Karrion Kross, or Killer Kross, whatever the hell you want to go, his name is. But now they got him in this thing with Drew McIntyre. I thought it was going to be a kind of a one and done, and then he might be going after Roman. But then why does he really deserve a shot at Roman Reigns? Like, I hate when they just throw somebody in the title mix. They got to have a build-up for it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, and then you bring back Bray Wyatt. Well, I think he beat Bray Wyatt, right? Then he beat The Fiend.
Yeah.
Right? But this is when they were kind of making The Fiend stupid. I don't know. But now we're like recycling people. We're bringing them back, right? I really wish, I'm a huge Cody Rhodes fan. It sucks that he got hurt. I would have loved to have seen him dethrone Roman Reigns. But then I was reading, they're like, there's all these stories about shit after. There was like saying there was never actually any plans for him to beat Roman Reigns. And I'm like, okay, then, you blew him up for what? He had a long feud with Seth Rollins, which was great. Seth Rollins has never really got a legitimate rematch against Roman Reigns. Roman didn't really beat him. So that is one guy that you can say he hasn't beaten, really. Also, Cody. So when Cody ever comes back, I don't know what they're going to do with him.
Do you think Cody is the guy? Like, can you picture it?
I can. But I guess the goal is everything's got to be big and over the top in WWE. So it's like, just because Cody beats Roman Reigns doesn't necessarily mean you got to make him the fucking face of the company. Like, This is where people start to go, oh, well, now he's the face of the company. It's like, he doesn't have to be. He can just fucking beat Roman, have a fucking title run, and then he can have all these other feuds, like stuff we haven't seen. Because guess what? We want to see some new shit. How many times are we going to see Roman beat Brock Lesnar? How many times are we going to see Roman beat this person and beat that person? And the fucking bloodline interferes, and then Roman's still champ. Like, all these yeah, it's just please in 2023 we need some new shit. I am tired of seeing Roman as the champ. I hope Sami Zayn is somehow breaks up the bloodline. That would be pretty great. But how they do it, I don't know.
See, I always think like Sammy is like a mole of some sort. He's a mole
Right?
that he's infiltrating. He's getting on the heads of them, and I think eventually he's not going to go after Roman, but he is going to go after the Usos because him and Jimmy or Jay
Yeah, one
have
of
like
them.
a little thing going around.
Right?
So I think he's going to bring in KO and go after those tag belts. That's just my theory.
Right. And then what happens? They beat them. They win the tag champions, and then what? Roman gets rid of them out of the bloodline. Like
I didn't think about it that far. I just got to the point where they beat the Usos.
Right.
But what did Greg say? I don't think this will happen, but could you imagine if we ever got to see Gunther versus Roman? I love to see Roman take big meaty chops for 20 minutes.
Oh wow.
I hope Logan Paul beats Roman at Crown Jewel. Jesus.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen.
Oh man, there was a question. A lot has changed since we talked before. Like I think it's been over a year now.
Right.
Right when we talked, WWE was kind of fucking stale. It was unwatchable. I mean, if we're being honest. But now with all this like new management and shit like that, I've never really gotten your take on it all. To me, it feels like at first, maybe in the first couple of weeks that Triple H was in charge, there was a lot of like good changes I could see, but now it's starting to feel like the same old fucking formula again. I want to get your take on how you feel about the way Triple H has been running things.
Well, just like anything else, you're not going to make everybody happy, and it's like you can't completely, crumble it up and throw out everything that Vince was doing. You have to slowly make the changes and slowly bring people back.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how stale and shitty WWE was for the last few years, right? You can't erase that in a couple months. It's going to take some time. But I think they're definitely headed in a good direction. I think they're headed in the right direction.
Do you think that the same way AEW brings in all these other people, the WWE is falling in the same way of bringing like all these returns? Like, do you think it's just a bunch of debuting to see who has the bigger, the bigger pockets here?
I mean, it might be a pissing contest for a little while, but I think Triple H is smart. I don't think he's going to bring back everybody they fucking let go, because obviously there's some people that should have been let go for sure.
Well, yeah. Like, let me ask you this: did we need a Braun Strowman? Did we need a Dexter Lumis?
I don't really know that much about Dexter Lumis because I know he was an NXT guy.
Yeah.
He's got a really crazy fucking look, I'll tell you that. I don't know where they're going with this story, but I'm interested to see where it does go. As far as Braun Strowman, WWE's always had this fascination with big men, or at least Vince did. Q almost, right? A guy that is unwatchable in the fucking ring. You know what I mean? Braun Strowman's actually very athletic. The guy can do a lot for a guy his size. I want to see him have a fucking 5-star match, which I think Braun Strowman's capable of. He's not, I don't want to hear him on the mic. I don't want to hear him say, get these hands or none of this bullshit. Braun Strowman needs a mouthpiece. He needs like a Paul Heyman type of guy. Some guys need that, right? I think he's had some really, really good matches. He can be great. I think Braun Strowman, that is a guy that you can bring in. You could put the belt on him for sure. But he needs a mouthpiece. Don't give him a microphone.
See, I'm on the side here where I think Strowman is. I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's championship material. I mean, that's not to say that he's won it, but it was a fucking championship that nobody remembers.
Right.
I would say Greg says Loomis I like. I don't think we needed him, but I really like it. Strowman is a no for me. Definitely didn't need to bring him back. Almost is trash. And Johnny disagreeing with him. So, I don't know, man. Fucking, I'm with you. I guess that's something new with Strowman. You know, give him another shot. See what he does with it this time around. And, you know, take it from there. Now, I want to ask you, since we're on the topic of Strowman, what the fuck do you think about his new fucking finisher all of a sudden?
I didn't catch it. What is it?
It's a power bomb in the middle of the ring.
Oh, cool. So every other big guy that's been, you know, Kevin Nash, Sid Vicious, power bomb. Well, I mean, you got to be honest, when you're a big guy, what really is your finisher going to be? Choke slam, power bomb. You don't really have a lot of options.
Now, a lot of people are Kidlow's, you know, symphony of power bombs. Because he does the same exact shit. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, isn't Wardlow just taken from every other big guy that's fucking done a power bomb?
That's also another point. Yeah.
For the last 30 years.
Like, he didn't invent the power bomb, but I think it's just the timing of it all. And
right.
the way that they conduct it, that people have a problem with. It's like, okay, Wardlow got over with the symphony because he just does continuously until he's tired. So now all of a sudden Braun Strowman comes back and he's like, yeah, you know what? I'll make the power bomb my thing too, instead of the black hole slam. I don't know what that is though.
Sounds like something you get at IHOP. 2 a.m, the black hole slam.
Fucking Denny's. Hey, can I get a black hole slam, please?
Next time you go in, ask for it.
Yeah. It's like, what? Get out.
Get out.
Strowman definitely. Fuck. Oh, Abyss's finisher. Okay. Strowman definitely has a great look, and he's wildly athletic. I don't get where you guys get that from, but...
Dude, have you not watched his matches? This guy does shit in the ring. Like, he could do a fucking drop kick. I've seen him do flips. Like, Strowman's athletic.
I guess I haven't seen it.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. The dude can move in the ring. There's a lot of times it's hard to watch big guys in the ring because they really can't do all that much. Strowman, he's athletic. You know what? And Drew McIntyre, he's a big guy. He's really not much smaller than Strowman. Also, extremely athletic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've seen him do fucking, a tope here and there. And I can't believe him.
McIntyre's finisher, I mean, I like it. I think it's cool.
Yeah. Did you know that was completely on accident?
No.
When he was part of the 3-man band, he was wearing the tightest pants known to fucking man. And he went to go in for, I forgot what it was. I think it was just a regular drop kick. And he slipped. His pants were so tight that he fucking tripped on his own shoes or something. And hit him with the what we know now as the Claymore. And that's how the Claymore came to be. So it was completely by accident. Cora Jade, she loves my Denny's. What does that even mean? All right.
Maybe he's talking about the black hole slam.
The black hole?
The black hole slam.
You
got a pretty active chat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Johnny likes to talk. And usually, we get a lot of good discourse coming in here. Greg comes in sometimes. Came in last night, said what he needed to say when we did the AEW watch along. Shit.
Tell me about these curtains going on in the back of you, though. It's like you're on a set of like a talk show.
Yeah. I'd like to welcome my new guest. No, he's
right?
You know what, man? Like, I'm trying to get and build like an office.
Right.
Because I'm tired of I'm doing this at my dining room table. These are the curtains to my fucking looking through my backyard.
I thought this was the Merv Griffin show, but you might not. You might be too young to know who the hell I'm talking about.
No, I need red or blue curtains to make that the fucking Merv Griffin show.
There you go.
But yeah, I'm working on getting a fucking office soon and a new laptop with new connections because this shit is ridiculous. Remember the last time you got me for fucking going live on my basement?
Yeah, it looked like a straight up kill room.
Looked like a dungeon, yeah. There's no lighting.
You're murdering people there.
Well, I'm just really excited that his background and his shirt had nothing to do with MU, Muck Fishigan.
Oh.
Watch your mouth, bro. Come on.
Uh-oh.
I always keep that thing on me. I always keep that thing on me. It's Michigan for life. But yeah, man, that's all I got for this week. Did you have anything you wanted to bring up?
No, not really. I didn't know what we were going to talk about on the show. So
lately, I've just been winging it. I remember I used to always say, like, bring your best questions or debate topics, and it's more fun when it's just, not scripted.
Yeah. Well, I like on my show, man, we go live, and I've had this, Liz has been on vacation, so I've had, I don't know if you caught the other woman that was co-hosting with me. She's from the Culture 316 podcast.
Yeah.
She's great. She got a lot of energy, but she's talked to me offline, and she's be like, how do you really like prepare for the show? And I was like, I don't. I was like, we just fucking go live, and whatever happens, happens.
It's more loose that way.
Right? I don't want to record the show and have to edit it. I want to ask some questions. I want to make people really think about shit. If I have a guest on, I talk to them for maybe a minute before we go on and just say, hey, plug away, plug whatever you want to plug. We might talk about this, talk about that. Tell me what you don't want to talk about, and I won't talk about it. You know what I mean?
Right. I had a guest on.
Oh, sorry.
What?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
No, I was like, when I had Jimmy Smith on, the former Raw announcer who got fired, which I'm really bummed about. I really liked him. I thought he was great on Monday Night Raw. So the first time I had him on, he was just like, I could talk about anything, but don't ask me about Vince. He said, you can't talk to me about Vince. So I was like, okay. So I got him coming. He's going to come back on the show soon. And he needs to clear the air because a lot of people are saying, oh, he's bitter or this or that. Like, the dude got the Raw, the short end of the stick. He got fired and got told on accident. Like, you think the guy's going to be fucking, like, happy? I'm like, who's going to be happy about being fired? And if you heard his interview, hold on one second. Had to clear my throat. If you heard his interview and what he was talking about, people are like, oh, he's bashing Roman Reigns and talking about, oh, these guys can't fight. Well, no, they're not legitimate fucking fighters. He came from the MMA world where everyone that gets in the ring, they are an actual fighter.
Yeah.
Pro wrestlers, I don't know if you guys didn't know this, they're not fucking fighters. They don't get paid to fight. They get paid to entertain. They're extremely athletic, yes. Very charismatic, yes. Very entertaining, yes. They're not fighters. Brock Lesnar, Matt Riddle, Bobby Lashley, Ronda Rousey, fucking Shayna Baszler. There you go. Those are legitimate fighters. They would whoop your ass in a real fight. The rest of the roster, they might be able to put up a fight, but they don't get paid to fight. So for Jimmy Smith to say that WWE has this aesthetic and a look that they want to push, yes, they look like monsters. They look like beasts, you know? They look like they could fuck some shit up. Roman Reigns might be the most friendliest guy in the world and could have hurt a fly in real life. But guess what? He's not a professionally trained fighter. So what Jimmy Smith said, he's not wrong and he's not lying, and he shouldn't come off as he's bitter if he says that fucking Roman Reigns can't fight. That's just my fucking 2 cents.
Is that your opinion?
People are all in a fucking arms over Jimmy Smith saying that Roman Reigns can't fight.
People listen to the fucking ass end of everything, and they make something out of nothing. So I'm with you with the fucking frustration, man. Trust me. Everybody's so up in arms about the stupidest fucking shit. And I don't understand. I don't know. Since I've started this journey, man, I've realized a lot of fans, and you'll notice this on Twitter, and you could probably agree with me. Fans are fucking weird, man.
Yep, they are. They really are.
Yeah. And the shit that they create, that's the epitome of having no problems in your life, so you have to create some in your head, and then you have to air it out on Twitter, and then bash people who don't agree with everything that you say, just like Jimmy Smith. He says these guys aren't fighters. Yeah. Now,
oh no, wait, hold on.
Go home.
They're not fighters. Breaking news.
Yeah.
Professional wrestlers are not actually fighters.
Wrestling is fake? It's like, come on, man. Everybody knows that. Now, there's some, like what Greg said, that try to go down that avenue or have come from a background of fighting, like Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar was a champion of the UFC, Bobby Lashley, and that's just to name a few. Yeah.
Well, really, and add one more, like I said, Matt Riddle. So that's 5 people on the entire WWE roster. I don't know if there's some other people that maybe had some MMA training, but these were actually professional MMA fighters. So they're legit. That's 5 people out of how many? The entire NXT roster, the entire Raw roster, the entire SmackDown roster, all the people at the Performance Center. How many people actually come from being a legitimate MMA fighter? Not many.
And then Greg was saying, it's almost illegal to have your own opinion. You can't say AEW is good. And then people reply, oh, so you hate WWE?
Right.
And it's like, no, man. Yeah, 100%. That's not what I said. I put out a tweet. Of course, it didn't get any fucking traction because it's not a negative one. But I said, wow, NXT and AEW combined made over 1 million in viewership on a Tuesday night. Mm-hmm. Both shows. One had 700,000, the other one had 600,000. I said, that's great for wrestling fans. Guess how many likes I got for that?
Probably 1. Oh, none.
0.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, but if I would have said, oh man, AEW fucking demolished NXT this week. I don't know what it is. I don't know why people gravitate towards negativity.
Well, unfortunately, that's just the way of the world, man. Everyone's negative about anything or everything. Everybody's own opinion is the only opinion that matters and that counts. If you don't agree with someone, you're fucking wrong, or you're fucking racist, or you're fucking a bigot, or you're fucking this, or you're fucking... Yeah. If you don't agree with somebody, you automatically get labeled something, right?
Yep. And it's a horrible, horrible culture we live in. And you know this since I started this show, man. I told you what this show is going to be about. And that's why I come on here. We say what we need to say, we give our opinion on it, but we respect each other at the end of the day. And we may not agree on everything, especially, me and Greg about Michigan and CM Punk. But you know, we all respect each other. We're all good friends here. So
How boring would it be if everyone just agreed with each other?
no,
Shit
yeah,
would be
you
boring.
don't want to
Shit would
be
be boring. Shit would suck.
yeah, and you don't want to be trapped in that echo chamber
No.
ever. That sucks. But if you have anything to plug, man, go ahead and plug it.
I'm Tony Twist, host of ATW All Things Wrestling podcast. You can find my show every Sunday. We go live 10 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. We stream it from StreamYard, so it goes to YouTube, goes to Facebook, goes to Instagram, or not Instagram. Instagram doesn't allow that. Twitter. So you can find ATW All Things Wrestling. Subscribe, like it, share it. Come on there. Our chat gets interesting on Sunday mornings. Yeah, that's where you can find my show. Check it out. Subscribe. Help us blow up.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find myself and my host, Heel Liz, and you've done some really killer promotional videos for my show. So I got to thank you for that. Big shout out there because you've done some really killer fucking promo videos for my show. So got to thank you for that.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, guys, Tony just celebrated a year of having his podcast. So, and I was just on there, and it was, like I said, super fucking fun. Definitely got to do that again for the 2 years. But
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm having my Halloween show, which is on October 30th. It's actually our 50th episode. So make sure you tune in for that Sunday morning. Like I said, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Hey, man, I'd love to have you come on all dressed up. You know, wear your favorite Michigan gear. I don't care.
Oh, you know I'll come in all dressed up in my Michigan gear. I'll dress up as a fucking skeleton. I don't care. I'll be there.
There you go.
But I think we're going to call it a show, guys. We're going to get out of here. So you guys know where to follow me. Everything's down in the description. Join the Discord. Follow me on Twitter. Shit like that. Subscribe. Tell your friends. Subscribe to Tony. And that'll be it from us. See you guys later.